What is going on, guys? Today got a little project. We are going to be trying to fix the brake or the backup camera problem for the 11 to 16 Fords. I have a 13, and I have had the camera out for, it's been like a year now, and I've just been too lazy to mess with it. So finally going to try and diagnose that problem. I'm not sure if any of the other years have it. So yeah.
And yesterday we made a couple new additions to the Milwaukee family. Number one of my favorite tools that I use for wiring and whatnot is this little soldering gun. It's just, no cord or anything is huge. So you're not getting tangled up if you're laying underneath a truck or a car or whatever. It heats up real fast. It actually cools down real fast. Obviously the right angle, 1/2 inch. I keep a 3/8 adapter on there because it does the job. It's killing two birds with one stone, and maybe eventually I'll grab a 3/8 right angle. But as for now, that one's doing just fine for me. Yesterday I went ahead and bit the bullet on the fuel drill. Did some rock lights to a vehicle yesterday, and that came in big handy. Obviously, the trusty 1/2 inch that's been around for a while. This is my first gun. I got a few years back before I really kind of knew which ones that were better than others and whatnot. And also yesterday, I went ahead and grabbed the little impact driver. This thing is a beast. We'll be using that probably right now to take apart the tailgate and whatnot. And then one of my favorite ones actually is the 3/8 stubby. This thing will take some lug nuts off. That is a beast of a tool. And then of course, got the light here. I was at the store yesterday. My buddy suckered me into getting this thing, and I do not regret it. I'll show you guys the light that puts out, but it's really handy. It takes one of these M18 batteries. Super handy. The magnet on it, it's magnetized to the toolbox right now. The magnet on it is super strong. And on the back, this little clamp thing here, I'm gonna do this with one hand. You pull this out, and that separates, so I can't really pull it out too far with the phone in the other hand, but those little forks pull out, so you can, and then when you let go, they come back in, so you can clamp. We had it clamped onto the hood, but yeah, no, it's a handy little tool.
I got to move some cars around, so let me get the car out of the garage, move some cars around in the driveway, and get the truck pulled inside.
That little magnet on that thing is so strong. I mean, that thing's heavy with the battery and whatnot. I mean, it's impressive, the light that it puts out, and how strong the output of the light itself actually is. This right here is a game changer. So this is the setup here. I was actually just going to take these bolts out on the side here, but instead I just took the screwdriver and popped that out. I did put a ladder with a towel underneath it to help protect the tailgate itself. So yeah, these, for those that don't already know, those just go on like that. And then, you just put a screwdriver, you wedge a screwdriver in there, pop that tab out, and it'll slide right out. All right, so got the tailgate off the truck, and depending on the package that you have, some of them are just a piece of plastic on top of this. My truck has the platinum package, so it's got the pole to grab when in the step. So I had to take the piece of plastic off, which was a couple hex bolts, a couple T-bits. And then I realized that I didn't really necessarily need to do that. The problem is in this wiring here, and my issue is the ground wire. I just pulled a whole bunch of wire protector and black wiring tape off with a razor blade. And as you can see, this wire here comes out, and that's just bare metal, and it's on my fingers and on the wire. It's all corroded, and it is corroded to the point, for the focus, where the wires just broke apart. So now I got to trace this. The camera is somewhere right around here, so hopefully the wire doesn't go all the way to the camera, and I gotta fix the wire in the camera because I'll have to take the Ford emblem apart, and that doesn't just come apart, you kind of have to break it. So hopefully I can take this apart and find the issue somewhere in here. And when I do find that, I will add a new ground. All right, so I traced the wires, and this was the joint on this other end there, and they were still corroded. So I ended up popping off the camera, and I got to take this apart and just rewire the whole thing. So the camera itself, you're going to have to pop the Ford emblem off, and I would be shocked if you didn't. I've heard that it's impossible not to. So you break these two tabs, and then it is just 2 bolts, one here, one there, and then this whole thing comes right out. And then that's the plug to the thing harness I was just holding, and that's where the corroded wire is. All right, well, we pulled it all off and rewired the ground. So there used to be like a heat shrink coming right off of here. And for whatever reason, it was just a bare wire over to a heat shrink and then clean wire. So we soldered it, put some new heat shrink on it. I'm gonna tape this. This end is the camera end, and I already heat shrunk it, threw some tape over it, just to make sure absolutely no water gets in there. And yeah, we'll let you know when it's all done. Tidied back up, taped all the wires back together. Everything's nice and sealed up. Got the clips back in. Got that little 90-degree piece in there. That was kind of tricky to wire because I didn't really measure it out. I just plugged it into the camera and then tried jamming that in there and getting tape around it, but it worked. So gonna get the tailgate back on the T-Ruck and make sure it still works. Okay, and just like that, the camera works. Sorry guys, it's the next day here. I forgot to get a video of it last night, but it works as it should.